Hi guys, welcome to Small Farmer Life. Hope you're all having an awesome day. Well, I'm going to Wembley on Saturday. Can't wait for that. But I thought to get a video knocked out before I go on my travels because I won't be able to do one over the weekend. But today, guys, we're going to talk about size. And does size always matter? Now, I know a lot of people think bigger has got to be better. But I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to show you in this video an actual case where size didn't matter, but they still got the right to live on the land. But a lot of people seem to think you need a lot of acres to get that right. But before we get into the video, guys, if you think about buying some land, maybe you want to live on that land, maybe you want to start an off-grid lifestyle, maybe you want to live in a woodland, build a woodsman cabin, get away from that to 5 grand, or maybe you want to hide out from the powers that be. If you're thinking about doing anything like that, guys, think about hitting that subscribe button. Go back, check out some of the videos I've already uploaded to the channel. You'll find lots of useful information in those videos, and also think about hitting the bell button for future videos. But today, guys, we're going to talk about size, because lots and lots of people send me messages about how much land they need. Most people think you need 12.5 acres. Yeah, you do for permitted development rights, but you don't have to own the 12.5 acres for starters. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how much land you actually need and what you need to do to actually get the right to move onto that land and prove to the council that you're going to be an asset to the community, the rural community. You're going to be doing a business there, but there's things you need to do before you'd actually move on that land, and there's things you're going to need to do to prove to the council. So let's get started and let's get on with the video. Now, when it comes to land, it's like anything. The more you have, the more it takes to take care of it. It just does. So if you've got 100 acres, trust me, it's going to cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds to take care of the land, buy machinery and special tooling to take care of the land, and it's going to take a lot of your time to take care of that 100 acres of land. Now, you can either use that land to graze cattle or sheep, which is not profitable at all, especially for a small farmer. And if you want to live on the land, that's not the way you want to go about it. It takes so much time to look after just several acres of land. Like, I've got 2.7 acres. I cut the grass 2 weeks ago. It needs cutting again. The sun's been out. It's been raining a lot. And the grass is about 7-8 inches tall already, so I need to cut that again. And there's lots of other things that go into taking care of just small parcels of land. So having lots of acres of land is not going to benefit you in any way, shape or form, not your business and not living on the land. So you can understand when you've got a lot of land, it does take a lot of manpower, a lot of investment, a lot of tooling to get that farm up and running just to grow a couple of crops. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to specialty mushrooms, vertical farming, growing microgreens, growing lots of healthy salads, good salads, fresh salads that you can't get in the supermarket, to high-end restaurants, to people over the internet who want specialty produce posted on a regular basis, 24-hour service. Those sorts of people are out there, and it's never been easier to market to those people. So when you compare hundreds of acres or tens of acres down to an acre or two, or even in the case I'm going to show you, half an acre, and I'm going to show you what the guy's done with this half an acre. He lives on the land. Most expensive road in our town, might I add. So he had a lot of objections to his planning application, but he did it right. And you're going to learn how to do it right by the end of this video. So bigger is certainly not always better when it comes to owning land. And the more land you have certainly doesn't mean you're going to have an easier ride with a planning department, because you're just not. How you're going to have an easier ride with the planning department is making sure that you've got a good business plan, that your land actually looks like a small farm. Now, it doesn't have to be around small farming. It can be something like glamping. It can be a wedding venue. It can be dog grooming, which is the case study I'm going to show you. It can be anything, but it has to be in a rural setting. It has to bring employment to a rural community and be for the betterment of the rural community. If you can do all that, at the end of the day, you will get the right to live on that land. But you've got to take it step by step. Now, the guy I'm going to show you is doing dog grooming on just over half an acre. He's not far from me. He's just over the road. I've seen him progress from day one to moving on the land to his planning committee meeting. He attended it himself. He had so many objections. It was unreal. I'm going to show you the overhead view of his plot and show you the actual size of the plot. So if you just check out the image here, he's got 8 stables on there. He lives in that caravan 365 days a year. Does dog grooming from there, and now they've expanded into doggy hotels so they can keep dogs overnight, meaning they have to be there 24/7. Now here's another image from Google Earth, and it shows the size of the land. It's 0.6 acres, so it's only just over half an acre. That's all the guy had, and that road leads to the most expensive houses in our town. So £1 million houses, £1.5 million houses, and these people objected by the hundreds. But it doesn't matter if you've got 1,000 objections. If you do it right, you'll get the right to stay on that land. How would this guy with just over half an acre of land get the right to live on that land, being that that road leads to the most expensive estate in our town? Well, first of all, they built the stables. They put a septic tank in. They put all the fencing up. They opened up the doggy parlour so it was ready for business. He had a good business plan. They didn't have a planning consultant, because you don't need a planning consultant when you're doing this sort of thing. You just need to know what you're doing. So they had everything ready to start business from day one. And then they moved the caravan onto the land, fenced it in, and obviously lots of objections came in when they put the planning applications to live on that land temporarily for 3 years to make the business work. Now, this is what I try and tell you guys. Get everything ready before you actually move onto the land. Because soon as they moved onto the land, they were prepared to start business. And they didn't have to waste any time building the stables or building fences, putting septic tanks in, putting other drains and that sort of stuff onto the land. They were all ready to go. So when people complained and the council came out about the caravan being there, they just had to put a planning application to stay there temporarily for 3 years. It went to committee because that many people objected to it. But it doesn't matter if 1,000 people object to your planning application. If your planning application's right, your business plan is right, and you know for a fact that your business is going to be successful going forward, you have nothing to worry about. And that guy has been there now for 7 years. So his business has been successful, and he'll probably get the right to build a house on there. But he's probably quite happy living in that nice static caravan he's got on that land. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is, I know lots of people contact me saying they've only got a tenth of an acre, and some people say they've got an acre, some people say they've got 2 acres. If you've got anything half an acre or above, there's lots of businesses that you could start on that land. It's like in America now. In America, there's a revolution going on in small farming, urban farming, vertical farming, that sort of thing. People are making a lot of money off quarter acre plots, half acre plots, up to $250,000 by simply selling at farmers markets and the high-end restaurants and the health freaks who love the microgreens, super fresh and all that sort of stuff. And that's what we need to be doing in the UK. And it's not just going on in the US. And it's not popular that there's lots of tools being made that fit onto power tools like drills and that sort of thing that make farming on a small scale a hell of a lot more productive and time saving. So you can crack through your daily chores, get all that sorted out, get into market. Now, it's never been easier to market produce. There's lots of courses online. It's simple to learn. I've mentioned it in other videos. You need to get yourself onto Skillshare. And once you're on Skillshare, there's lots of lessons on Skillshare on how to take the best images, the best food images, how to market to the right people, how to write good copy. With the release of ChatGPT, it's never been easier to write awesome copy for your website. And there's lots of other companies out there on Fiverr where you can get a logo made up for literally $5. It's that simple to get started. If you're producing the best product on your land, you've got a lovely website which are really easy to build. There's lots of things you can do that will make your small farm, whether it's half an acre, quarter of an acre, or 10 acres in size. Now, I would always suggest that you start small. And when you watch a lot of these Americans, and they always ask each other, what is the one thing you wish you'd done first before anything else? And they always say start small. Because when you've got lots of land, you plant lots of crops that don't even sell. You want to specialise in a certain crop. You want to use permaculture. You want to have such a clean farm that when you see a stone, pick it up. When you see a weed, pick it out, that type of thing. Make sure you've got your wood chip paths. Make sure your beds are exactly 750 millimetres wide. And that is the size of all the tooling. So it makes things really easy, guys. Shot up a few polytunnels. If you're doing microgreens, if you're doing specialty mushrooms, get in a few containers or get dark polytunnels to put on your land. There's lots of ways to use small parcels of land and start off really good, healthy farms. So, do you need large plots of land? No, you don't. And large plots of land are not going to give you any more right to live on that land than a small plot of land. But what I will say is, get that small plot of land sorted out before you move on to the land. And it's a lot easier to sort out a small plot of land than it is to get started on 10 acres of land, because you can put all your time and effort into 1 acre, have your beds all laid out, you can make use of every single corner of that piece of land, and it'll look so much better and so much neater. And when the council do come out, they'll come out and they'll say, this person is serious, they've got a website, they've got a business plan. Obviously, they need to be here to take care of this place, and they're working all hours God sends. They're up at 6 in the morning till 6 at night. They live 10 miles away, so they obviously need to live on site to make the business work. And once you've conditioned the locals into seeing what you're doing, then the locals will use you as well. You'll be able to sell from the actual farm itself. The locals will come and use you, and the locals will get to understand that you're an asset to the community and not a hindrance to the community. And that's what they're scared of, and that's why they pick up the phone to the council, because you're scaring them when you're first moving on there and just shotting a caravan on there without doing anything else. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, and you should subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified of upcoming videos, then make sure you hit the bell button. My name's Craig. You've been watching The Small Farmer Life. Thanks again to all the parents. Couldn't thank you guys enough. And YouTube members, really appreciate the support. Make sure, guys, you take care of yourself. Most of all, take care of the family. Be genuine, guys. Bye for now. See ya.